because I had to wait for so long. 8 years is not a small thing. The training time ko first time training गरेर म हावामा उडिसक्दाखेरि चाहिँ I actually cried.
I think this is like a result-based society where process keep on here. Then they don't look at the process. They're not even involved in the process. What they only see is ki garyo ta, did he or she succeed?
Because it takes time. And things that you see, especially when you're flying in Nepal, you know, the mountains that you see, the rivers, the waterfall that you see, it's beautiful.
So welcome everybody to the SJK podcast. Today our guest is Bipashi Tuladhar. She's a pilot at Sita Airways and she has a lot of experience to share with you guys. And aviation fans, this one is for you. Before we start today's episode, I'd like to thank Swirls for sending over 2 of their beautiful gel-pressed nails for today's guest and you, our viewers. The nails are solely hand-painted, customized, and reusable. Please check the description below or watch till the end to know more about it. So I wanted to start off with where your pilot journey started, हैन? अनि हामीले देखे अनुसार like तपाईको feeling चाहिँ हैन when you were a pilot अनि how did everything start चाहिँ?
It starts since childhood, right? And I exactly don't remember when I wanted to be. I think my dad input koreko hola tyo hola. But then the moment that I remember what what do you want to be when you grow up? But it has always been flying.
अनि यो because त्यही त अब हामीले like pilot बन्छु भन्छ तर there's a lot of things behind the process like you have to study science हुन्छ नि नेपालमा there's long process हुन्छ नि so तपाईले 10-11 मा गएर did you had this okay I will be a pilot हुन्छ नि अनि जे आउँछ I'll do it भनेर was that the mindset?
Yeah, it was Kasa in class 9 ma there was computer and accounts. I choose गर्नु पर्ने त्यसमा पनि I took computer. And then on high school, I took science just because I wanted to study piloting. And it was well planned, and there was full support from my parents as well. So a Galaxy mein padhao, I'm like full on Galaxy. And after your maths, physics major, I started researching ke garne. Then I came to find out America, my dad was like, US name best huncha. So I want you to go there भनेर अनि त्यहाँ different search गर्दाखेरि I came to internetमा search गर्दा I found Delta Qualified Aviation, which is in Texas, Fort Worthमा, which I did my CPL from there. अनि त्यहाँ contact गर्दाखेरि they gave me a consultancy code number that they coordinate भनौँ न त्यहाँबाट गएको.
अनि did you ever thought about doing जुन चाहिँ अब नेपालमा नफर्केको बाहिरै बरु गर्छु भन्ने?
No, I always wanted to come here. Yeah, always wanted to come here. मलाई त्यहीँ बसेर सेटल हुने त्यस्तो कहिले पनि भएको थिएन. अहिले sometimes त्यस्तो हुन्छ but I feel I never planned like हुन्छ नि यो ठाउँ रमाइलो छ म यहीँ सेटल हुन्छु त्यस्तो चाहिँ कहिले पनि भएन.
And then when like taking science, because I think Nepalma matre ho hai, like you have to take science.
It depends on country. मलाई अरूको चाहिँ खासै थाहा छैन. But then US मा चाहिँ you need to be त्यो बेला अहिले recent के छ त्यहाँको rule पनि I don't know. 17 years of age हुनुपर्छ अनि high like त्यति नै हो कि त्यो science त्यस्तो नेपालमा जस्तो चाहिँ छैन. But then यहाँको लागि चाहिँ you need it. High school minimum science चाहिँ चाहिन्छ. Science भन्नाले it's like maths and physics.
Do you think that के भन्छ helped you पछि गएर flight school मा?
Yeah.
Do you think science itself like is important subject for
basics हो नि त. अब you're just asking just like ABCD नपढिकन म यो पढ्नु मिल्छ भने जस्तो भयो नि त. I mean it's not much भने जस्तो but it's everything at the same time. So it does help. The basics are सिक्न.
So do you think like without that science लिएर चाहिँ can somebody just like अब टिकोको आफूले नै self study गरेर हुन्छ नि can they also proceed? अब नेपालमा नभए पनि बाहिर चाहिँ त्यस्तो छ नि त.
छ I have किनभने यो रुल आएको त धेरै भएको छैन नि त. So हाम्रो seniors-हरु who are like 20 years something I've उहाँसँग कुरा गर्दाखेरि उहाँ चाहिँ साइन्स मेजर होइन आर्मीको उहाँको चाहिँ अनि यसो हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ practically उ भए पनि theoretical टेक्निकल त्यो गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ सजिलो चाहिँ हुन्छ जस्तो फिल चाहिँ भयो
Mm-mm.
अनि देयर आर सम टाइम्स त्यस्तो फिल चाहिँ हुन्छ आई सुड हेभ वर्क हार्ड ब्याक देन
Mm.
के अरे बेसिक्समा चाहिँ अझै वर्क गरे भए अझै राम्रो हुन्थ्यो कि भनेर चाहिँ फिल हुन्छ
Yeah.
सो इट हेल्प्स
Mm.
आई मिन नभए हुन्थ्यो त ठिक छ तर भयो भने इट रियली हेल्प्स यु आई थिङ्क
So you said like तपाईँको dad एकदम supportive हुनुहुन्थ्यो होइन?
Yes.
So beside your dad होइन, how were like other people about like how were they responding to your dreams while you were growing up?
While growing up, I think my dad was the only one who supported
Mm-hmm.
because financially, I don't come from a very stable type of family.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was but struggling all the time for us. He also when I remember someone nam 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 tara when we like said like oh we want to do this then it was एकदमै घाँटी हेरेर हाल्नुपर्छ भन्छ नि त्यस्तो टाइपको आई थिङ्क यु कान्ट टाइपको पनि कुरा भएको थियो कि त्यो सम्झिँदाखेरि चाहिँ के भन्ने इफ इट वाजन माई ड्याड आई वुडन्ट बी
Because हाम्रो society, हाम्रो
ल ओके
के छ I can हाम्रो सोसाइटीमा चाहिँ कस्तो छ भने लाइक इफ युआर ट्राइन टु डु समथिङ होइन देयर के भन्ने अब गएर टोकिदिने हुन्छ नि यु क्यान डु इट खालको अनि त्यसपछि बिकज अ लट अफ नेपालीज प्यारेन्ट्सहरूको लागि लाइक यु हेभ चिल्ड्रेन हुन्छ नि देयर फर्स्ट थिङ्क इज नट म किन पाइलट बनाऊँ खालको होइन त्यस्तो थिङ्किङ छ अझै होइन अनि अझै मान्छेहरूले टोक्न आउँछ किन बन्यो लाइक दे विल लाइक हुन्छ नि पुट अ ट्याग अन यु बरु यो गर यो बाहेक किन यो गर्ने खालको कुरा आउँछ होइन त्यति हाउ मच हेभ यु एक्सपिरियन्स द्याट इन रिलेटिभ्स
a lot actually being a woman पनि भयो and at the same time कस्तो भने this is like 3 वर्ष अगाडिको कुरा भयो 2005-06 को कुरा भयो नि त that's a long time back so yeah त्यो चाहिँ हुन्थ्यो like can you do it नै पाइलट्स पनि बन्छ भनेर टाइपको चाहिँ भन्थ्यो बट मलाई आई डोन्ट रियली केयर हु एल्स टक्स अबाउट इट बिकज आइभ सिन एक्जाम्पल्स वेयर आफ्नै पेरेन्ट्सहरूले पाइलटिङ पढ्न नदिएको पनि देखेको छ नि त सो all that matters is my parents and they're very supportive that's all that matters त्यो चाहिँ छ त्यो एक्सपिरियन्स पनि छ धेरै छ like why do you want to do this टाइपको कि it doesn't matter it never affected me
अनि कज हाम्रो जुन चाहिँ एक्सन्सहरू छ नि अनि तपाईँको जुन चाहिँ कन्फिडेन्स छ नि आई थिङ्क द्याट इज एउटा तपाईँले सानो सानो अचिभमेन्ट वेदर इट्स नट जस्ट हुन्छ नि अरूको एकाडेमिकली अरू वाइज सानो सानो अचिभमेन्ट पायो भने पनि त्यो कन्फिडेन्स आउँछ जस्तो लाग्छ होइन फर यु टु कम हियर वाट आर द थिङ्स द्याट हेल्प यु टु गेन यर कन्फिडेन्स डु यु थिङ्क
इट्स अ लट अफ थिङ्स एक्चुली कसो भने एक्सट्रिम एक्सट्रोभर्ट नेचरमा मान्छे होइन एन्ड यु नो आवर कल्चर अलिकति साई इज बेटर लाइक बिङ एक्सट्रोभर्ट लाउड इज लाइक नट द्याट एक्सेप्टेबल बट हाम्रो मेरो एसएलसी सकिने बित्तिकै स्मल थिङ्स म्याटर्स भने जस्तो द फर्स्ट थिङ माई ड्याड हेज डन इज लाइक गेभ मी एसएलसी सकिने बित्तिकै हि गेभ मी पेपरको त्यो एउटा एड वेयर इट वाज रिटन एमसी ट्रेनिङ एन्ड स्पिकिङ ट्रेनिङको हजुर त्यो सानो त्यो थियो अनि त्यहाँबाट स्लोली यु गेट इन्भल्भ स्टेप बाई स्टेप कुरा हो देन आई गट टु इन्भल्भ इन लाइक डिफ्रेन्ट अर्गनाइजेसन्स त्यो हाम्रो कम्युनिटीको के अरे यसमा पनि इन्भल्भ भयो अनि टिचिङहरू पनि भयो सो द थिङ इज एभ्री अपर्च्युनिटी द्याट आई गेट आई डोन्ट से नो अनि त्यसमा वर्क गर्दै 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 बिस्तारै बिल्डअप हुने कुरा हो आई फिल लाइक द्याट हेज चेन्ज्ड
How has your relationship with patience been?
Oh my God. Aviation teaches you a lot of patience. It does. Patience the ekdam bhayangar sikauncha because if you don't have that, I don't think you can survive in this. You really need to do that.
Any specific events that really made you?
Event bhannu mildena series of events bhannu milcha. I mean like number one I got my first job as a pilot after 8 years of waiting. And that takes a lot of waiting and all. And your COVID time pani bhayo. At the same time, your financial few reasons, personal reasons. I took 3 years to complete it, course itself. So that's not fast, slow, but it comes on the slow places. So without patience, I don't think you can do that.
In that process, people might have tapai also, and people might have self-doubts. And how did you overcome those self-doubts, if there were any?
A lot. I'm a thinker. I think a lot. Ani testo belama saying I do have few trustworthy friends, my parents at the same time, and then I just pep talk to myself too. In the end, into सबसे important. I mean, boost up garne. It's your parents, it's your friends, it's your sisters, but in the end, it's yourself. I mean, you take time, chill, and then just shut down for a while. But then at the same time, you just feel like, I would say, what can I do to do next? Like, ke garda चाहिँ I'll be better. भनेर त्यो गरेपछि you start working on. That's how I do it.
Because मैले चाहिँ एक दुईजनासँग कुरा गरेको छु, and then I've also seen people who have a dream to become a pilot, but उनीहरूको family backgroundले चाहिँ नदिने कि they have the funds, but their like parents are like strictly no about it, हैन? त्यसको लागि त्यस्तो प्लेसमा भएको मान्छेहरूलाई चाहिँ what would you advise them?
It takes a lot of courage to encourage, change your mindset of your parents.
Oh, true.
And luckily, my parents, while growing up, they were super duper strict, very strict. My friends were scared, and my cousins, I think that I'm scared type. But I think they became when it changed after I became like friends with them. When you're a friend and when you're talking to your parents, it's two different things. Just like so. So you should. It's your skill. It's in your hands how you explain. And if you show, like, for instance, for a customer line, you're selling something. Isma plus point yota, negative yota, the plus point ma yo unza banra. If you can explain, do you think they'll say no? I don't think so. So the bistari unza, but then if you keep on explaining what do you want and isko ke cha faida ke cha ke ramro huncha, why I like it, to sabai explain गर्न सक्यो भने चाहिँ I think you can.
मैले यो चाहिँ I think this advice came from my aunt, हैन? अब when convincing your parents or having a small अब एउटा कुरा भन्नु छ हैन, किनकि a lot of people shut off हुन्छ नि, they have something to do तर भन्दैन कि. So rather than boiling it up हुन्छ नि, एउटा bottling it up हुन्छ नि, if आज भन्नु पर्यो भने, if you want to be a pilot, like आज भन्नु पर्यो भने आज झडा होला, तर पछि गएर I think it will हुन्छ नि positive एउटा चाहिँ डाइरेक्सनमा जान्छ, बिकज तिम्रो कुरा नै आज थाहा छैन भए इफ योर प्यारेन्ट्सलाई, पछि गएर आई थिङ्क दे विल बी अल्सो लाइक सक्ड हुन्छ नि, यस्तो पनि थियो किनकि एट लास्ट बटल अप भएर बसेछ नि त.
एक्ज्याक्टली. इट स्टिल ह्यापन्स. आइम 35 बट देन कुनै कुरा मलाई चाहिएछ, म सुरुमा भन्दाखेरि दे गेट म्याड समटाइम्स, बट देन like you just said, same thing happens. Like I tell them, they get mad, and when they're cool, when I'm cool, I'll just explain why I want to do this, why this is important for me. Ani esko you गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ मलाई मेरो के अरे सराउन्डिङलाई के हुन्छ, sometimes it might be also helping the country itself. So के हुन्छ भने राम्रो एक्सप्लेन गर्न सक्ने भनेको त it's in your hands, हैन? अब पेरेन्ट्सहरू त्यस्तो साह्रो पनि नहोला नि त. So it's in your hands. You have to do it. And I remember one of my friends saying, if you can't convince your parents, you cannot convince the world. Because they're the सबसे tough clients or whatever. So if you can't do that, you cannot do to the rest of the world.
तर आई थिङ्क कोहीले चाहिँ अब नबुझ्यो भने, आई थिङ्क once you're financially stable, आई थिङ्क त्यसपछि चाहिँ you can probably do what you want. Because सबैभन्दा ठुलो कुरा नै your parents are the हुन्छ नि who's keeping you, अनि सबै पाल्ने सबै प्यारेन्ट्सले हो नि त. If you can make yourself financially stable एउटा पोइन्टसम्म, आई थिङ्क त्यसपछि you can slowly do what you want पछि.
Your parents want two things. एउटा your happiness, एउटा your financial stability, हैन?
हजुर.
अनि आफैले पनि हेर्दाखेरि somewhat we don't say we don't need money भन्दैन नि त. So we need both side by side. So if you can convince this gonna help me or this is helping me, that's it's. And plus at the same time, they're scared not because they're gonna earn money or they're not gonna earn money. It's about the के भन्छ डर लाग्छ नि त त्यो भएर पनि होला. But then if you can convince, I tell my parents, I go to Lukla, I go to Rara, I tell my parents, होइन weather यस्तो छ भने हामी जाँदैनौँ होइन, we have यस्तो protocol छ. And I tell everything to them, like detail man. They might not understand the technical terms. They tell me, they ask me, then I tell हाम्रो यस्तो छ. So they are fine with it. So it's up to you.
So moving on to the technical side of aviation, if you could explain एकजनालाई पाइलट बन्नु मन छ भए होइन, what are the steps they can take? अनि त्यसपछि where अब तपाईँको अहिले you're a pilot नि त, looking back, what are the things you might have done differently if you know अहिले तपाईँसँग जे knowledge छ त्यसबाट?
Number one, you need a heck lot of money. होइन अनि कस्तो भने चाहिँ short time of span मा आफैले 100% काम नगरिकन त्यो गरिकन 100% गर्न सक्यो त्यो भने चाहिँ it's good. But side by side गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ गाह्रो हुँदो रहेछ. And at the same time, you feel कस्तो छ भने nobody will tell you or guide you what you really have to study. Pinpoint गरेर. When you're there, they expect you to know everything. होइन तर त्यो ब्याकग्राउन्डमा के चाहिन्छ एउटा मेन्टर खोजे पनि हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ कि. But which I never got in the initial days. After I came back, yes, अहिले पनि yeah, I do. But beginning stage मा चाहिँ भए चाहिँ हुन्थ्यो. That's why like whatever messages I do get a lot of queries from people that I don't know, like young, that's you piloting on के गर्नुपर्छ यताउता. I do message them and try to help whatever I can.
I think like you having like a Tikako social presence, and I think you have a social presence. And I think it helps a lot of people. Like people can look up to you.
Yeah.
And okay, she has done it, so I can do it too. भन्ने एउटा चाहिँ आउँछ जस्तो लाग्छ मेरो पार्टबाट चाहिँ.
It was hard. It was very hard. तर मतलब त्यही अब आफूले मैले के सम्ममा हेल्प गर्न सक्छु, I just do this and that and all. पढ्ने कसो पढ्ने.
Thinking about अब नेपालमा I think flight school छैन. No. अनि so बाहिर गएर पढ्न जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ कसरी हेरोस् एउटा मान्छेले लाइक which part लाइक कुन चाहिँ कन्ट्री बेस्ट होला हुन्छ नि, तपाईँले यो रिसर्च गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ के पाउनु भएको थियो तपाईँको बेलामा चाहिँ?
मेरो रिसर्च गर्दा खासै त्यस्तो मैले भेटाएको थिएन. अनि लकिली भन्नु पर्ने डाइरेक्टली स्टेट्स डेल्टा नै मैले भेटाएको थिएँ. द्याट वाज द ओन्ली कलेज आई रिमेम्बर. अहिले त याद छैन अप्सन्स यो पढौँ यहाँ जाउँ कि त्यहाँ जाउँ त्यस्तो चाहिँ मलाई भएको थिएन. बट देन अहिले देयर आर कन्सल्टेन्सिज that actually guides you and they give you ground classes before you go. I wish I had that. Ground classes, the basics or यहीँबाट थाहा पायो भने त्यहाँ गएपछि it's helpful. अनि if you have someone that you know अनि उसले पनि त भन्न सक्छ नि त तिमी यो पढ ल, study these before you go. Basics like त्योहरू पनि भए चाहिँ सजिलो चाहिँ.
अनि I think नेपालको एउटा रिक्वायरमेन्ट पनि छ त्यो मेन एसोसिएसनले यो रिक्वायरमेन्ट्स छ अनि यो बेसिसमा मात्रै यु क्यान स्टडी नत्र भए पाउँदैन भन्ने पनि छ.
As in what kind?
Like as in so these are the तपाईँले भने जस्तै लाइक एउटा इट हेज टु बी अप्रुभड फर्स्टमा चाहिँ होइन, त्यस्तै त्यही हिसाबले त्यही कुरा गरेको मैले चाहिँ.
Okay. So एउटा त you need science +2 साइन्स चाहिन्छ मिनिमम होइन. त्योभन्दा बेसी ब्याचलर्स पछि जानेहरू पनि छन्. ब्याचलर्समा जे पढ्दा पनि फरक पर्दैन, बट साइन्स ब्याकग्राउन्ड भयो बेटर. तर त्यसपछि चाहिँ देयर आर लिस्ट अफ कलेजेस द्याट क्यान हेज अप्रुभ. यु क्यान अल्सो गो टु द क्यान एन्ड सी द लिस्ट द्याट हेज क्यान अप्रुभड. अनि त्यसपछि त्यो लिस्टमा यु क्यान जस्ट here and there को पास आउट छ के छ कसो छ यु क्यान आस्क होइन सिनियर्सबाट. क्यानको थ्रु नै धेरै काम पनि हुन्छ. एन्ड देन त्यसपछि यु जस्ट अप्लाई टु द कलेजेस द्याट यु वान्ट.
कसैलाई बाहिरै पढ्नु मन छ, बाहिरै फ्लाइ गर्नु मन छ भए चाहिँ
बाहिर एज इन अहिले
स्टेट्स अथवा कहीँ
स्टेट्समा त इट्स लिटल बिट डिफिकल्ट आफ्टर 9/11 थिङ पछि चाहिँ. सो यु निड टु बी अ सिटिजन or at least a green card पनि मिल्दैन जस्तै छ.
ए हो.
Yeah, सिक्योरिटी पर्पस हो त्यो चाहिँ अनि सजिलो चाहिँ 0बाट स्टार्ट गर्ने हो भने चाहिँ नेपालमै सजिलो देन फर्दर जाने भनेको आफ्नै ठाउँमा छ फर्दर बेसिक चाहिँ यहीँबाट स्टार्ट गर्दा ठिक छ
So if you're a pilot अहिले होइन अनि त्यसपछि if you want to transfer to like let's suppose अर्को कन्ट्रीमा होइन is it easy कि त्यहीँ गएर त्यहीँ ब्याकग्राउन्ड क्रिएट गरेर गर्न सजिलो
होइन यस्तो हुन्छ आई एम अ सिनियर फर्स्ट अफिसर राइट नाउ होइन सिनियर को पाइलट भन्छ मेरो स्टेजको लागि चाहिँ फेरि एप्लाई गर्नु इज लाइक प्रिटी मच स्टार्ट फ्रम द 0 सो बेटर कस्तो हुन्छ भने गेट अ P1 क्याप्टन भइसकेपछि आफ्नो टाइप जुन छ टाइप भन्नाले कुनमा यो फ्लाइङ त्यसको त्यही लाइसेन्सले चाहिँ यु क्यान गो टु फ्लाइ टु इन्डिया एन्ड देयर आर सर्टन प्लेसेस द्याट यु क्यान फ्लाइ त्यस्तो चाहिँ हुनसक्छ
अनि लेम्यान टर्ममा बुझाउँदा हाउ लाइक के हुन्छ कतिजना मान्छे बिहाइन्ड अब हामी एयरलाइन्समा बस्दाखेरि त वी जस्ट सी प्यासेन्जर्स अनि उहाँ हुनुहुन्छ प्यासेन्जर्स लाइक मोस्टली प्यासेन्जर्स मात्रै देख्छ होइन त्यहाँभित्र के छ केही पनि थाहा छैन सो कतिजनाले चलाइरहेको हुन्छ नर्मली प्लेन होइन अनि वाट आर द हायरकी भन्नु मिल्छ एउटा त्यसमा चाहिँ को कहाँ कस्तो भनेर इफ यु क्यान एक्सप्लेन द्याट
इट टेक्स अब फ्रन्ट म्यान चाहिँ हो पाइलट्स हो एयर होस्टेस हामी क्रू हो बेसिकली नट जस्ट पाइलट्स क्रू नै हो अगाडि बिकज एयर होस्टेसहरूको पनि आफ्नो पार्ट हुन्छ देयर नट देयर टु जस्ट गिभ यु चकलेट्स or the snacks because they are the one they're gonna save you if in case of emergency. They're trained in that way. You know, passenger like ke first aid and everything. The back end ma cha engineering departments are marketing departments are there's like a heck lot of ke bhanne manche huncha to just your smooth ride garna lai there are a lot of people involved. They've done a team it.
अनि जुन चाहिँ अटोमेसन आएको छ नि त्यसमा चाहिँ वाट आर यर थट्स अनि त्यसपछि तपाईँले कतिको युज गर्नुहुन्छ इफ युज गर्नुहुन्छ
I don't have autopilot in my aircraft.
अनि लाइक वाट आर यर थट्स अन द्याट
It makes pilots workload चाहिँ easy चाहिँ गरिदिन्छ सजिलो चाहिँ पारिदिन्छ
आर देयर डिसएडभान्टेज टु अटो पाइलट
डिसएडभान्टेज एक्ज्याक्टली त भन्न त मिल्दैन बिकज हरेक कुराको राम्रो र नराम्रो पक्ष हुन्छ and I like to see in the positive side ma say it makes your workload होइन त्यो further plan गर्नलाई help हुन्छ भने it's but मेरो type को flying ma चाहिँ it's not very practical and भए पनि use गरे पनि short time मा मात्र use हुने भएकोले it's like we really don't use it
त्यो एउटा जुन चाहिँ कार्सहरूमा हामीले अटो पाइलट पाउँछ नि त्यो र फ्लाइटमा कति लाइक वाट आर द डिफरेन्सेस
अब त्यो लङ सेक्टर्समा काम लाग्छ डिफरेन्सेस भने प्रिटी मच त्यही त हो जे भने पनि अटोमेसन भए पनि इट्स द ब्याक लाइक एउटा फ्लायरले चाहिँ इट्स गन इनपुट त गरिरहेको हुन्छ नि त यो गर त्यो गर भनेर भनिदिएर हुन्छ नि त सो गाडीमा इट्स ओके लेट्स से लाइक हाइवेमा अटोमेसन जानु र पुट यु इन द आसनमा यु नो या सो इट्स लाइक टु डिफ्रेन्ट थिङ पनि भयो इट हेल्प्स त्यो कुन ठाउँमा कसरी युज गर्ने त्यो गऱ्यो भने इट्स अमेजिङ
तर आई थिङ्क पाइलट एउटा चाहिँ हुनै पर्छ टु फोर्सी द्याट
अफ कोर्स जे भने पनि इट्स अ मसिन होइन मान्छे क्रास हुन्छ मसिन क्रास हुन्छ त्यो हेर्नलाई त एकजना त चाहियो दुईजना एकजना त्यो लङ सेक्टर्समा युज चाहिँ भइरहेको हुन्छ
अनि बिकज यु केम आउट अब पाइलट बिङ अ पाइलट मिन्स द्याट दिस इज नट अ 9 to 5 जब you can go to एकचोटि गएर 5 बजी फर्केर you can rest होइन so this is like this job takes a toll on your body हुन्छ नि so त्यसको लागि चाहिँ how have you prepared yourself or तपाईँले if you have mentally चाहिँ कसरी प्रिपेयर हुनुभएको छ अहिलेसम्म
you need a lot of rest I sleep and eat whenever I can so that's what I do भनौँ न because दिउँसो सुत्नु राम्रो हुँदैन भन्छ but then I wake up at 4 in the morning मेरो फ्लाइट हुँदाखेरि त but then my body needs rest so जब मिल्छ I take good rest अनि इटिङको पनि त्यही हो अब because our weather really changes एकदम short टाइममा weather change हुन्छ नि त हाम्रो यो सेक्टर्स जहाँ छ within 2 minutes the weather is
different
So त्यो हिसाबले we can't compromise even a minute or two हुन्छ नि खानेकुरा कहिलेकाहीँ we have to leave the food right there and then run हुन्छ नि त्यसो पनि भइरहेको हुन्छ So त्यो हिसाबले whenever I can हो तर it is not normal भनौँ न
एयरलाइन्सहरूले कतिको पाइलटहरूको हेल्थलाई ऊ गर्छ प्रायोरिटाइज गर्छ
they do prioritize
अनि जुन चाहिँ तपाईँहरूले रेस्ट पाउँछ किनकि राति नै फ्लाइ गर्ने पर्छ कहिलेकाहीँ होइन बिकज इट मेसेस अप यर सर्केडियन रिदम होइन विच इज लाइक अब हेल्थलाई अति नै गाह्रो होइन सो वाट आर सम थिङ्स द्याट पाइलट्स डु टु किप देमसेल्भ्स हेल्दी
एउटा त वर्कआउट पनि हो यो कि हुन्छ नि सर्टन एक्सर्साइज सर्टन फर्म अफ एक्सर्साइज गर्दाखेरि पनि फरक पर्छ अनि आफैले हेर्ने हो त्यो क्याफिन इन्टेक त्यो पार्ट भयो अनि after flight since my aircraft is not pressurized and I fly like 11,000 up to 12,500 ma उडिरहन्छु छु so त्यो गर्दाखेरि पनि I feel very tired after my flight so I always take rest त्यसपछि most of the flyers do that flight पछि एकछिन nap लिन्छ त्यो गर्छ so those who understand they do and those who don't it's very hard to explain तर कसो भने त्यो ह्याबिट बिस्तारै एड्याप्ट गर्दै जाने हो आइ एम नट अ मर्निङ पर्सन नम्बर 1 मलाई चाहिँ एकदमै गाह्रो भएको थियो बिकज बच्चैदेखि म राति चाहिँ आफ्नै मनपर्ने ध्यान दिने कामहरू चाहिँ म राति गर्ने मान्छे थिएँ कि पहिला बट देन फ्लाइङ अब यो अब यस्तो पाएँ कि अब आई हेभ टु बी एक्टिभ अर्ली मर्निङ होइन सुरुमा चाहिँ आई ह्याड द्याट प्रब्लम अलिकति गाह्रो चाहिँ भएको थियो बट देन आई सुन adapted भन्नु पर्ला and at the same time my family is quite supportive यो कुरामा चाहिँ because right after my flight my खाना खाएर I just take nap flight त्यो गर्दाखेरि I do अनि pretty much
एयरलाइन्सहरूले बिफोर लाइक टेकिङ अफ पाइलटहरूको हेल्थ पनि चेक गर्छ कि
health as in कस्तो खाले
चेकअप अब जस्तै अब हाम्रो प्यासेन्जर्सहरूको त अब तिमीलाई ज्वरो आयो भने तिमीलाई प्लेनमा राख्न दिँदैन न पाइलट्सहरूको लागि पनि त्यस्तो केही
या यु क्यान सिक कल त अब हामीलाई थाहा हुँदैन नि रुगा लाग्न लाग्छ ल तिमीलाई भोलि भने त रुगाले त फोन गर्दैन नि त सो सिक कल इज अलवेज वेलकम त्यस्तो इस्युज चाहिँ छैन बिकज हाम्रो जहिले पनि स्ट्यान्ड बाई पाइलट्स हाम्रो रोस्टरमै हुन्छ स्ट्यान्ड बाई पाइलट्स भनेर राखेकै हुन्छ जस्ट इन केस यो पाइलट इज नट फ्लाइङ or समथिङ वी हेभ समवन स्ट्यान्ड बाई भन्ने टाइपको पनि हुन्छ So त्यसमा अनि प्लस एट द सेम टाइम बिफोर यु फ्लाइ हाम्रो उनी गर्नुपर्छ यु हेभ टु त्यो ब्रेथलाइजर फर अल्कोहल त्यो पनि चेक गर्छ त्यो सबै सर्टन गुड नो एन्ड देन देयर्स अ डिफ्रेन्ट फर्म द्याट यु हेभ टु साइन हुन्छ नि इफ म वेल रेस्टेड छ कि छैन त्यो सबै साइन आफैले मैले लेख्ने हो कि सो अब म आई कान्ट लाई होइन त्यो गरेर ठ्याक्क चाहिँ गर्नुपर्छ
So you touched on how expensive flight school is, I know. Your rough estimation चाहिँ कति हुन्छ होला? How expensive is this flight?
About a few months ago, मैले हेरेँ थिएँ. From the day you want to fly home here till the time you're actually in the cockpit, staying active 1.5 the चाहिन्छ.
So that would be like $150,000.
होला.
Nepali
चाहिँ चाहिन्छ
त्यस्तो
and that also very short span of time so that's why it's not easy
कति वर्षमा यो चाहिँ
हुन्छ ठ्याक्क हाम्रो इयर्समा त्यो हुँदैन लाइक यो सेमेस्टर्स त्यो त हुन्छ त्यस्तो हाम्रो हुँदैन हाम्रो आवर्स फ्लाइङ आवर्स वाइज हुन्छ सो डिपेन्ड्स 200 वाला 200 hours वाला प्याकेज हो कि 250 part 61 part 121 डिफ्रेन्ट हुन्छ त्यो अनुसार फरक हुन्छ
because तपाईँले स्टेट्समा गर्नुभयो नि त इज इट अ बिट मोर एक्सपेन्सिभ देन अदर प्लेसेस
It is somewhat, but I later found out that Australia is a lot more expensive. But then they are really good as well. You know, so expensive bond them and not amrute pani haina. You need to do a little bit of research and really talk to someone who actually passed out from there. I mean, now I have my friends around and so if I had money, then I'd probably go to Australia. Like that.
अनि जुन चाहिँ यो फ्लाइट छ नि अब हामीलाई because it's expensive त्यो पछि गएर एउटा certain amount सम्म त फेरि कमाउनु पर्यो नि त so what can be the starting expectation salary of a pilot
Depends. त्यो पनि अब कुन सिचुएसनमा छ country कुन सिचुएसनमा छ flying त्यो सिचुएसन केमा छ usually it starts from 50K and goes up. That's from yeah.
अनि जुन चाहिँ यो flight school can you see Nepal having flight school in the future पछि गएर कि still hard
It's a very complicated question to answer. I've my personal है अब रिसर्चहरू भइरहेको त्यो त आफ्नै ठाउँमा छ होइन but topography हाम्रो नेपालको जुन चाहिँ terrains छ it's very tricky. Like few minutes ma highest peak of the world butter you actually can go to the sea level ko levels ma pugchan ta hami ta so त्यति छोटो हाम्रो फेरि country is not that big गर्न सकिन्छ होला त्यो नगर्न सक्ने होइन तर I feel like certain exposure as a student pilot हुनुपर्ने अलिकति टाइम त लाग्छ होला गाह्रो हुन सक्छ
so it's so do you mean it's bounded by के भन्छ नि mountains or do you think it's bounded by a bit lack of infrastructure
kind of like both
yeah.
because infrastructure is something we can change
Hazur.
in future we definitely can आउँछन् पनि होला because I see a few people have already started working on it गर्न सकिन्छ तर terrain wise चाहिँ अब that's a big challenge I think त्यहाँबाट pass out भएपछि खतरै हुन्छ होला त्यसै
अनि can you explain where you work right now and त्यसपछि तपाईको अहिले where do you go हुन्छ नि flight wise कहाँ जानुहुन्छ you can touch up on it
okay so I started मेरो commercial flight start गरेकै मैले 2018 बाट हो like I said I had to wait 8 years for that अनि I'm currently working in Sita Air Limited I'm working as a senior first officer flying aircraft called Dornier 228 which is a German aircraft and the sectors that I fly is stall sectors like Lukla subsea attraction Rarar Bhayo Simikot Bajura Jumla all these like kita extreme tourist जाने ठाउँ the extreme त्यो के भन्ने rural places of Nepal
yeah mostly I think यस्तोमा tourist or body attract
tourist पनि हो तर sadly कस्तो भने tourist एक ठाउँमा छ but at the same time flying is कति ठाउँमा west मा especially जुन चाहिँ if you know west is very backwards comparing the development को कुरामा so त्यहाँ चाहिँ flying basic needs नै हो basic needs नै हो and it's expensive so that is kind of
talking about like getting expensive what I've seen is like these यो हाम्रो holiday season आयो नि अनि मैले टिकट्सहरू हेरेँ कि it's very expensive compared to हुन्छ नि जुन चाहिँ अब it's even like 3 times more compared to
I don't know why they do that
and I think त्यसमा त्यही I want to touch upon is there not हुन्छ नि like यतिसम्म मात्रै बढाउन पाउँछ त्यो भन्दा बढाउन पाउँदैन भन्ने के रेगुलेसन छ regarding
मलाई यो कुरा चाहिँ ठ्याक्कै I really don't know भनौँ न त्यो पार्ट हाम्रो त्यो छ नि तर I don't think त्यस्तो रुल त होला जस्तो
because yeah I have seen किनकि 2x 3x जति छ अनि people might कोहीलाई त necessity छ नि त more than हुन्छ नि going there it's a necessity and I've seen it just went up
I know I mean like for a person paying नेपालगञ्जमा धनगढी जानु र मलाई त्यो चाहिँ खासै फरक लाग्दैन but a person going to Bajura यिनीहरू चाहिँ they don't have much income नि त त्यो हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ that's 6,000 to 8,000 for one way trip is a lot and that too just to go to hospital सानो basic needs को लागि जानलाई त्यति धेरै पैसा तिरेर जानु and then we complain half an hour भयो यहाँ hospital जाममा जानु पाएन so त्यो हिसाबले चाहिँ it's a certain rule बने चाहिँ हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्यो but I have no idea on this so I don't know
so what I've seen is Nepali domestic airlines मा चाहिँ there are more delays than international air normally हैन त्यो चाहिँ खासमा why does that happen if you can explain a bit
there are lots of traffic हाम्रो aircraft अब airport त we just have one port नि त अनि terminal different domestic ra international bhaye tapani is the only one runway that takes off neither. So traffic congestion nahi ho. Sometimes might be the weather, sometimes incident wa ke bhaera pani huna sakcha. Congestion nahi bhannu traffic.
Yes,
delays are that.
especially
Because the ATC people, they are like working really hard to manage garna त्यो त उ चल्दैछ. It's mostly traffic नै हो.
So both international and domestic like priority equally दिन्छ.
Almost, yeah.
Almost
त्यसरी
equally
नै हो
दिन्छ.
because अब domestic त धेरै नै aircraft छ नि त.
हजुर हजुर.
So अब equal दिने कि अब equity हुने कि equality दिने भनेर भयो नि त यसमा. अनि international त धेरै पनि छैन नि त.
Like when you were like training to be a pilot, were there any role models that helped you to be where you are today?
As a flyer नै हिसाबले
Flyer, any way, in any sort of way, a flyer भयो कि अब yeah, any way.
त्यो बेलामा unfortunately I didn't have anyone to guide me. त्यो अघि पनि भने I had no such people who could say like oh यो गर त्यो गर, or I had no one to just look up and be like फेरि हाम्रो social media त्यस्तो पनि थिएन नि त.
हजुर हजुर.
अहिले पो it's very easy to होइन role model खोज्न पनि सजिलो छ. You just search and then अमेरिकाको अस्ट्रेलियाको या त you can find that person होइन.
हजुर हजुर.
Back then त थिएन नि त. अनि त्यस्तो फ्लाइङकै टर्ममा चाहिँ थिएन. But then म चाहिँ कस्तो मान्छे छु भने I have certain people that I look up to according to my mood and according to my hobbies and change हुन्छ. So त्यसमा certain do छैन. But one person that I really look up बच्चेदेखि was my principal नै फेरि. It might be something unusual, but उहाँको चाहिँ के मन पर्थ्यो भने she was Gita Rana from Galaxy. अनि उहाँको the bold part, and then she was very commanding. अनि एकदमै के भने hard working. त्यो part चाहिँ something I wanted in me. So I think त्यसपछि चाहिँ I don't know त्यो सजिलो लाग्दैन.
I think तपाईँहरूको जुन चाहिँ work environment छ नि, if you have co-pilots and अरू people who are helping you होइन, I think relation एउटा chemistry चाहिँ differently bond हुन्छ than other work lines होइन. Has your chemistry or your relationship with your co-workers been?
It's been good. It's been good. One thing I learned through aviation is that you keep your professional and personal life different. त्यो गऱ्यो भने both चाहिँ happy हुँदो रहेछ. अनि that's why unfortunately के भने मेरो social mediaमा मेरो अफिसको कोही पनि छैन. I keep my personal life personal. Through some way थाहा पायो भने it's something else, but म अफिसमा पुगेपछि म त्यहीँको झ्यामिन्छु. I forget who I am. घरमा जे छु I forget. Pilot there, I'm working professionally, so that's how I deal professionally. त्यो गरिसकेपछि I'm happy. And then once I come out, once I'm home, I forget that I'm a pilot. I'm like my mom's daughter, my dad's daughter, sister. That's how I
Your
keep it.
realization did it take time?
Yeah, it did. Few bad experiences.
Yeah.
But then it did.
Any specific reason on why would that happen?
It's like when you're busy, you're super busy. But there are times when you're super free. पनि हुन्छ कि हाम्रो standby time मा we have nothing to do. So त्यो बेलामा के भन्ने certain gossips हुन्छ यताउता हुन्छ नि त. So I just don't want to be part of it.
अनि जुन चाहिँ अब I think अब what do you think is the private sector र public sector को जुन चाहिँ pilotsहरू छ नि,
Public sector as in like
public
government?
as in like flying अब public भन्नाले for the government, maybe अब army military मा पनि होला होइन, and there's commercial based भयो होइन, त्यसमा चाहिँ के differences छ mainly?
As far as I know, it's very pro and cons के यसमा पनि. For instance, military, that's completely different. We can't compare ourselves to military people because do or die for the country. Money त्यही हो प्राइभेट सेक्टरमा पाउने बट एट द सेम टाइम फेसिलिटी धेरै पाउने फेरि उता छ
मिलिट्रीमा
सो
हजुर
इट्स लाइक यता इट्स अलमोस्ट सेमै भन्छु कि सो
ए।
वाट डु यु प्रिफर इज इट इन यर ह्यान्ड्स
हजुर हजुर
होइन गभर्मेन्ट एयरलाइन्समा जाने कि प्राइभेटमा एयरलाइन्समा जाने कि सबैमा प्रो एन्ड कन्सहरू छ इट्स अप टु यु वाट यु चुज
Did you ever think of like doing flying like jets and then like public sector ma pani if did you ever think of going there?
Public sector as in government sector
Government sector, yeah.
I mean I do I keep my options open to say so but then opportunity पायो भने त गर्छु होला
If you want to fly a jet and if you want to fly a normal plane हुन्छ नि जुन चाहिँ हामी जान्छौँ नि त्यसमा के
I mean jet as in do you mean fighter jet
yeah
oh
So-
that's a whole another level
ए हो
we don't have it in Nepal
ए
त्यो military उसमा छैन
हैन
सो मैले त्योसम्म चाहिँ सोचेको पनि छैन तर टप गन तिनीहरू मुभिज हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ अलिकति हो त्यो फिलिङ हुन्छ होला टु फिल द जिज एन्ड यु नो लाइक त्यो चाहिँ भएको थियो
तपाईँलाई त्यो सेक्टरलाई त्यो पार्टमा पनि डु यु थिङ्क इट्स इन्ट्रेस्टिङ एन्ड एउटा पाइलट बन्नलाई हुन्छ नि त्यो पार्टमा पनि डु यु वुड यु वान्ट टु एक्सप्लोर पछि गएर
I can't because
त्यसमा छुट्टै
jet
प्रोसेस
fighter jet especially त्यसको लागि मैले थाहा पाए अनुसार एज लिटल नलेज हो मेरो त्यति धेरै नलेज छैन तर एउटा त एजको कुरा हुन्छ एउटा चाहिँ देयर इज सर्टन फिल्टर गर्ने प्रोसेस हुन्छ सबै अल इन्ट्रेस्टेड क्यान्डिडेट्स क्यानट बी अ फाइटर जेट पाइलट्स त्यो सर्टन हेल्थ वाइज एन्ड दे हेभ टेस्ट त्यो जिजको कतिसम्म मान्छेले लिन सक्ने त्यस्तो त्यो पनि हुन्छ क्या अरे त्यो सबैले त्यो फिल्टर भइसकेपछि मात्र पाउने हो नि त अनि यु रिटायर भेरी अर्ली फाइटर जेट्सको चाहिँ
त्यो सकेसम्म चाहिँ
यङ नै हो अनि दे आर भेरी सुपर फिट एन्ड त्यो फिल्ट्रेसन प्रोसेस चाहिँ डिफ्रेन्ट हुन्छ
ए ओके सो इट्स अ कम्प्लिटली होल
कम्प्लिटली डिफ्रेन्ट नेपालको चाहिँ वी डोन्ट ह्याभ त्यसो प्लस वी डोन्ट ह्याभ इनफ स्पेस फर द बेस त्यसको गर्न पर्छ
सो आउटसाइड अफ बिङ अ पाइलट होइन तपाईँको आई थिङ्क हबिजहरू पनि छ होइन
a lot it keeps on changing
two that I know is gym and then makeup.
yeah
So if you want to touch up on your hobbies, how I think hobbies help you as well.
Yeah,
it
it
keeps
does.
you busy.
it does it really does म बच्चेदेखि कस्तो छ भने मेरो मेन गोल एक ठाउँमा सधैँ नै हुन्छ which has always been them flying is probably I would say I can now say this is what I actually want to do and त्यसलाई एक्टिभ बनाइराख्न चाहिँ I think the rest of the hobbies help त्यसले चाहिँ push गर्छ कि ब्रेनलाई के भन्ने it's just like watching a comedy movie and then you feel fresh that's what hobbies does that to me and like you mentioned makeup was one of my hobby and I actually got a chance to earn from it. I was a makeup artist for a short period of time. Gym pani it sort of ज़्यादा the game and stuff. So my mental thing may help गर्ने okay. अनि अहिले चाहिँ habits that I've adapted is that started to read books. But this is very normal लाग्ला तर for me I can't read book for a long time.
That's true. मलाई पनि same. Yeah.
So I'm like really pushing hard अनि because भने मेरो cousins मेरो close cousins like Pranidhi, Angela, Manjula if you know them. These guys are really good at that and even my own sister Jyotika pani. So more consciously I'm pushing myself to adapt that habit because it's going to help me in flying because I have to constantly study and refresh myself neither. Favorite habit. So it keeps on changing, man. It keeps on.
तपाईँको I think powerlifting पनि एउटामा थियो if you want to touch up on that.
Powerlifting is something that first time ever कस्तो भने चाहिँ different sports I've done. Different form of gym I've done. But luckily मेरो राम्रो trainer पनि थियो, coach पनि थियो Tyson. So कस्तो भन्दाखेरि त्यो गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ the blank moment हुन्छ नि and you just don't feel anything. The zen moment भनौँ न त्यो पुगेको चाहिँ powerliftingले चाहिँ हो. तर it was I had to make a tough decision to quit the नभनौँ like
Gap.
setback yeah. because it needs a lot of effort and time and rest. And so does my flying. So I had to prioritize one of them.
I think gym teaches you like the discipline.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, discipline on this like pushing forward खालको एउटा mentality चाहिँ. That I think that does that help you in becoming a pilot as well?
Yes, it does, because I realized something that त्यो mind and body को एउटा जुन balance हुन्छ नि त्यो चाहिँ मैले पाए थिएन भनेर पावर लिफ्टिङले चाहिँ मैले रियलाइज गरेको हो कि.
हजुर.
Because it might be few seconds of lifting the thing, but if your mind is not on the right space, if you're not in the body पनि right उसमा राख्न सकेन भने सकिँदैन नि त. You have to find the balance, and that's why you train in that. And I figured त्यो मलाई एकदम गाह्रो पार्ट रहेछ. That's what I figured.
Has balancing your friendships and family life been hard that now you're a pilot?
No. Not much.
Not much?
Because
anything that has changed since you've become a pilot?
I have this one. My routine wise, my friends are very flexible. They're sweet enough. My routine wise, my parents are very supportive. So they understand if I don't just say about मेरो भोलि flight छ, but then as एकदम important family function मा जानु पर्छ, but I cannot. The reason being is I need to prepare certain studies गर्नु पर्छ, certain mental peace, you know. I need to just start from there. So the balance, if they were forcing me all the time, probably त्यहाँ चाहिँ problem हुन्थ्यो. But they are very understanding. Very understanding.
I think once you're a pilot, I think you have to actively learn as well. The part now, how has that been for you?
Actively learn as in studying part.
Yeah, studying part.
Oh, that you have to study like religiously.
What?
Yeah.
Is it like a requirement or is it like more गर्छु भन्ने?
It depends on what kind of pilot you want to be. No, मजाले उ पनि गर्न सकिन्छ. के भन्छ, I don't think anyone हुन्छ नि अब म नराम्रो पाइलट बन्छु मलाई मतलब छैन भन्ने टाइपको त गर्दैन होला हैन. But this जुन the simple part छ पढ्ने कुरा पनि has to be there. It looks very glamorous बाहिरबाट चाहिँ एकदम glamorous देखिन्छ, तर भित्र चाहिँ एकदम sneaky nerd हुनुपर्छ क्या. So you have to have that part in you. So every flight अगाडि चाहिँ if I don't go anywhere, I'll probably be just refreshing myself, staying in bed, or just staying calm and just studying few parts that I need to do for the next day. Prepping part.
So prepping part मा भने चाहिँ कस्तो, how does that look? Because if you would want to explain के चाहिँ prep गरिन्छ, and is it like the new things or पहिलाकै past कुरा that you're reflecting?
Yes. यस्तो हुन्छ अब there are different sectors, and just the jet को different होला, Airbus is the long sector को different होला, यस्तै non-stall sectors उनीहरूको different होला. तर मेरो stall sector मा चाहिँ of course हाम्रो SOP भन्ने हुन्छ. त्यसमा चाहिँ certain sectors मा कसरी चाहिँ त्यहाँ अप्रोचहरू गर्ने त्यो पार्टहरू पढिन्छ. अनि हाम्रो एयरक्राफ्ट को बेसिक इमर्जेन्सीजहरू के छ त्यो रिभाइज गरिन्छ. एन्ड एट द सेम टाइम मेरो के पास्टमा मिस्टेक्सहरू भएको थियो, आई राइट द्याट डाउन अनि आई जस्ट गो थ्रु इट. ओके यसमा चाहिँ आई निड टु वर्क अन भनेर भोलि चाहिँ म गर्दिनँ भनेर.
मिस्टेक्स भन्नाले कस्तो?
मिस्टेक्स भन्नाले अब समटाइम्स कस्तो भन्ने, जस्तो फ्लाइङमा मिस्टेक भनेको त्यो तर्सेको त्यस्तो चाहिँ होइन, माइनर मिस्टेक्स नै हो. भने फ्लाइङ्समा अब हेडिङ यो हेर्दा यो मैले मिस गरेँ कि होइन, मैले अब स्क्यानिङ पार्टमा मिस्टेक गरेँ कि होइन, अब मैले लाइक यो लेख्ने कुरामा आवाजहरू लेख्नेमा मिस्टेक गरेँ कि, त्यो सर्टन कुराहरू इभन फ्लाइङ्सकै लाइक इन्स्ट्रुमेन्ट अप्रोचेसमा मैले 1000 फिट गर्नुपर्नेमा डिस्ट्र्याक्ट भएर मैले 1200 गरेँ कि. सर्टन थिङ्सहरू म त्यो लेख्छु आफ्नो लिस्ट. इट डिपेन्ड्स अन डिफ्रेन्ट इन्डिभिजुअल आफ्नो विक पोइन्ट हुन्छ, सबैको हुन्छ. So that's how I work on it.
तपाईँको यो पाइलट जर्नीमा होइन, where would you want to be? What's like the top goal of your in this sector?
Top goal चाहिँ अहिले म भन्दिनँ, but I do have certain aircrafts that I really want to fly in the future.
Any favorite aircrafts that you really want to?
It's Airbus 320. So let's hope के हुन्छ.
ए
तर मनपर्ने भन्दैमा चान्स पनि पाउनु पर्ने.
पाउनु पर्यो हो. अनि एउटा एक्सपिरियन्स्ड पाइलट हु हेज अ लट अफ एक्सपिरियन्स त्यो र लाइक भर्खरै सुरु गरेर आएको मान्छेको चाहिँ की डिफ्रेन्सेसहरू के, हाउ डज द्याट लुक, की डिफ्रेन्सेसहरू के हुन्छ?
धेरै एक्सपिरियन्स काउन्ट्स नि त. एक्सपिरियन्स काउन्ट्स अनि फरक त हुन्छ भन्नुपर्छ. कोर्स यत्तिकै पनि यत्तिकै मान्छे वी डोन्ट रेस्पेक्ट क्याप्टन मान्छे वा सिनियर क्याप्टन वा इन्स्ट्रक्टर भन्ने बित्तिकै फुल अन रेस्पेक्ट यत्तिकै दिँदैनौँ नि त.
हजुर.
पढ्ने कुरा हुन्छ, यति रिसर्च गरिराख्नुहुन्छ उहाँहरूले होइन. एट द सेम टाइम फ्लाइटमा पनि आफैले फिल गरेको एक्सपिरियन्स हुन्छ. सो सर्टन भर्खर बिगिनर टाइमदेखि लास्टसम्म चाहिँ वी आर कन्सटेन्टली वी हेभ टु वर्क हार्ड. We have to constantly give out 100%.
Any person who you look up to in your professional life?
There are a lot. There are more फर्केर फर्स्ट है मलाई एकदम मेन्टरसिप अहिलेसम्म नै भनेको फ्युमा वान अफ देम क्याप्टन रवि कंसाकार. हि रिटायर्ड. उहाँ एकजना हो. अर्को हाम्रो एकदम लाइक ब्लन्टली आई टेल एभ्रिथिङ मेन्टरमा चाहिँ I take like Colonel, he's also retired, Subarna Vista, Wapani, Army pilot. He also helps me a lot. And at the same time, Mary Airline all my seniors, they're very also helpful as well. So it's not just one person that I look up to. Because certain things there are many.
So, like being a female in this aviation industry, what are the challenges that you've had to overcome throughout the years?
Challenges. So when you talk about just the work, once you enter the cockpit, we just have get a name pilot for a reason. They are female or male China. So once you enter the cockpit, there's a PIC and SIC. I mean like pilot in command and second in command. So there's a gender issue inside the cockpit. But त्यो सबै पर्फर्मेन्स चाहिँ इफेक्ट चाहिँ आफ्नो अब इट्स भेरी बेसिक एन्ड भेरी के भन्दाखेरि घरबाट आउँछ क्या. लाइक फर अ फिमेल इट्स भेरी हार्ड टु मेन्टेन बिकज सी इज अ मदर, सी इज अ वाइफ, सी इज अ सिस्टर, सी इज अ डटर. त्यो हिसाबले चाहिँ उसको रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटी धेरै भएकोले चाहिँ त्यहाँ लाइक पर्फर्मेन्स वाइज ओर अपर्च्युनिटी चाहिँ त्यहाँ कम हुने हो जस्तो लाग्छ. इट्स लाइक कमन प्रब्लम फर एभ्री के भन्छ काममा लाइक अदर professions too, but यसमा पनि त्यही हो. So if you have a good supportive family and a good support के भन्छ त्यो हिसाबले बुझेर गरिदियो भने चाहिँ I don't think there's much difference.
अनि किनकि from what I've seen, like this is a male dominated
it is
हुन्छ नि प्रोफेसन मोस्टली हुन्छ नि. अनि आई थिङ्क अहिले चाहिँ हाम्रो आई थिङ्क कस्तो छ नेपालमा सिन चाहिँ?
It's changed. It has changed a lot because we have a lot of female pilots पनि नि त who is working senior level मा क्याप्टन लिएर मजाले आफ्नो रिटायरमेन्टसम्म पनि काम गर्नु त भएको छ. तर त्यहाँसम्म पुग्दा के भन्छ त्यो एन्ड टाइम चाहिँ मोस्ट अफ द मेल गेट देयर बिकज अब एज जाँदै गर्दाखेरि यु निड फ्यामिली एन्ड स्टफ त्यो गर्दाखेरि जस्ट केटीहरू त त्यहाँ चाहिँ पछाडि हुँदै जाने हो क्या. सो त्यो पोइन्टमा अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ भयो भने हुन्छ. अनि अघि वेन वी टक्ड अबाउट द रोल मोडल थिङमा एज आई ग्रो अप आई स्टार्टेड लुकिङ एट द वुमेन हु कसो भन्दाखेरि हु आर सक्सेसफुल इन वर्क एन्ड एट होम के हाउ डु दे म्यानेज बिकज फर मेल केटाहरूलाई यो कुरा क्वेसन आउँदैन नि त. अनि दो आइम सिङ्गल मलाई यस्तो क्वेसन त आउँदैन. बट वाट आई सिन इज हाउ डु यु म्यानेज इज द क्वेसन दे गेट. अनि इन दि एन्ड वाट आइभ नोटिस्ड इट्स अल द फ्यामिली सपोर्ट के. बिहा नै भइसके पनि अब इफ यु हेभ टु गिभ एन एक्जाम्पल मेरो माइजू लेना Leena Kansakar, she's a active CTO in NCL होइन. अनि that wouldn't have been possible if her mother-in-law wasn't supportive, her husband wasn't supportive. Family is very important.
So I think this profession needs a lot of understanding people
Yeah.
beside you. Right?
Because it's not just one-man army.
हजुर हजुर
अब यो कुरा mention गर्ने कि नगर्ने भन्नु जस्तै हो क्या. Because it doesn't take one person to run it. It's the whole family.
हजुर
Does.
अनि अब मलाई चाहिँ के कुरा गर्नु मन थियो भने जेनरली अब when we are doing something होइन एउटा when we are in a journey भनौँ न, even if you are like doing nothing अनि बसिरहेको हुन्छ, like relatives come up to you and then they have this के भन्ने, they put you in a box being like यो गर होइन, and then this is how your outcome should be भनेर पहिलादेखि pre-decide गरेर राखिदिन्छ कि, which I don't like because who are they to हुन्छ नि tell us what we have to do.
I think we both come under the same.
Yeah. अनि त्यसकैको कुरा गर्नु मन थियो, if you had any experience or if you want to add anything.
A lot, because कस्तो हुन्छ नि, I think it's a common problem all around the world. It's not just between relatives or हुन्छ नि सबैको थ्रुमा हुन्छ जस्तो छ. त्यो कस्तो हुन्छ नि, if you're confident in what you're doing and if you know what you're doing and if you have good research होइन त्यसको छ भने चाहिँ त्यसको outcome के हुन्छ, only you know it. Rest of the world don't know it. Only few people who have knowledge about it might know it. Your mentor might know it. But people who are just being judgmental and telling you to do this and that, they really don't know. So you just do your thing. Like I have seen a post in social media कि त्यो आफ्नो त्यो growth भइरहेको बेलामा there's like people like commenting and then once you reach there, they are the ones who's going to be like, oh यो मेरो भान्जा हो नि, oh यो मेरो छोरी हो नि भन्ने भन्ने. They're the ones. And so it doesn't really matter. The only person that I think matters is your parents, your family, your sisters, or your brother, sister, whoever, your core family. Other than that, it doesn't.
I think this is like a result-based society where process keep on here, and they don't look at the process. They're not even involved in the process. What they only see is ki garyo ta, the hurdles that we went through or the hurdles people might go through. I think people underlook it. The only thing that they need is ki garyo ta, did he or she succeed khalko. Your narrative say. Just like someone I say.
त्यो because अब पहिलाको पालीमा I don't completely blame them too. Because मेरै कास्ट भन्दाखेरि तुलाधर, like नामले नै बिजनेसम्यान भनेर छ नि त होइन, लाइक कास्ट वाइज छुट्याइदिएको, मतलब त्यो काम चाहिँ कास्ट वाइज छुट्याइदिएको कि whatever त्यो हो नि त होइन. सो इट्स त्यो जेनेरेसन्स वाइज हेर्ने हो भने इट वाज इजी नि त. के गर्यो भन्दा बाउकै हेऱ्यो सेम. डिड ही डु समथिङ डिफरेन्ट? डिड द्याट पर्सन डु समथिङ डिफरेन्ट? नो. बट यु एन्ड आई, वी आर डुइङ समथिङ डिफरेन्ट. समथिङ टु चेन्ज, गुड चेन्ज निड्स द ट्रान्जेक्सन हुनलाई टाइम लाग्छ नि त. सो त्यो पार्ट चाहिँ के भन्ने सबैलाई पस्दैन क्या, जुन ट्रान्जेक्सन भयो पार्ट. सो दे डोन्ट रियली केयर अबाउट वाट्स गोना ह्यापन. दे जस्ट नो लाइक ए यो भइरहेको ठिक छैन मात्र भन्छ नि त. सो वन्स द रिजल्ट हुन्छ होइन, जस्तै अब सहतले पडकास्ट यस्तो गरिरहेछ भनेर भनिसकेपछि मेबी इन द फ्युचर a kid might be like, oh म सहतलाई जस्तो गर्छु भनेर त्यो गर्दाखेरि ए हुन्छ भन्छ. बिकज यु बिन एन एक्जाम्पल नि त. हाम्रोमा त बिजनेस मात्रै भएको थियो नि त होइन. सो ट्रान्जेक्सन पार्ट इज अलवेज हार्ड. Good things doesn't come easily.
True. That's true. And talking about, like, I also wanted to know and ask what it feels like to be in that cockpit. Because you had a dream.
I did.
You worked on the dream, and then once you're in the cockpit, it's a certain realization that, oh, I've made it, Kalko.
Yeah, it's a different joy.
So how is that feeling?
Wow. The first time, because I had to wait for so long. 8 years is not small.
True.
The training time ko first time training गरेर म हावामा उडिसक्दाखेरि चाहिँ I actually cried a bit. I was very emotional because it takes time. Ani things that you see, especially when you're flying in Nepal, the mountains that you see, the rivers, the waterfall that you see. It's beautiful. It's just very difficult to explain. I know, and then it does not justify by a picture or a video, okay? Because different weatherman, different deksa, different season man, different deksa. Sometimes it's all white. It's like different feeling into that feeling. And then sometimes the laliguras hamrama dekhincha ki rato ni majjale. That's something else really. So it's a very serene and it's amazing. Feelings, it's different.
So tapai, like you travel different parts of the world as well, Ansani.
Not flying wise China. But places that have flown is Texas and Nepal. And in Texas, it's plain basically horizon, sidda line dekhcha and it's not here. So yeah, go to like the terrain your sunrise is different because I feel lucky I get to see the beautiful sunrise in the morning look like because I'm heading to east from Kathmandu. I know, and west to fly I get to see sunrise, sunset, sorry. The views in different santa. And the plain horizon fly with some it's amazing.
Have you ever been like if you have flown or if you have been to any places, I know, has that ever like there been a feeling where maybe I should stay here like this to feeling
As in fly
fly or travel to point maybe I would that I've been here would I want to settle here? Has there any question been?
No. I mean, I think my family person wherever my family is, I love Kathmandu. So yeah, I would wanna go there, stay for some time, but fully settle because we are so much used to with the facilities we have. And though it's beautiful, I can't stay without electricity. I can't stay without social media or internet. So it's there for vacation to refresh myself. I would definitely go again and again, but this yeah.
So this is like a curiosity question, eh?
Okay.
Has there are there private jets in Nepal?
As far as I know, अहिले चाहिँ छैन जस्तै लाग्यो. Yeah. तर पहिला त allowed नै थिएन. अहिले छ कि छैन पनि I don't really know.
Because so तर private jets land चाहिँ हुन्छ
यहाँ because यहाँ त airport त हो नि international airport. I have seen few jets. Jets.
अनि जुन चाहिँ अब तपाईले जुन चाहिँ you've been a pilot, right? So has there like मान्छेहरुले तपाईलाई perceive गर्ने is it been different now that you're a pilot?
It is. Like अघि हामीले mention गरे जस्तो त्यो struggle period मा people will be like, what are you doing? के गरिरहेको छौ? त्यस्तो खासै seriously लिँदैन जस्तो लाग्छ. But then once you एउटा level पुगिसकेपछि चाहिँ yeah, it's different. I mean, के भन्ने? राम्रो मान्छे त they'll be good to you no matter what.
No matter what.
But some people say yeah, त्यो चाहिँ change भएको छ. But the सबसे खुसी लाग्ने कुरा चाहिँ when you meet someone who's like younger, who's like very ambitious, who's like really looking forward like म के गरौँ एकदम curious kid हुन्छ नि. उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ त्यो म पाइलट हो भन्दा चाहिँ खुसी लाग्छ.
And then have you been doing anything other than your journey as a professional pilot? Are you involved in other things right now?
Yeah, I am actually. Because when hobbies just now, I'm involved in two things actually. One Zonta Club, an international organization which focuses on women empowerment and Zonta Club of Kathmandu. So I'm one of the member in it. And there's another organization, 99's Women Pilot Association. So it was established like long time back, 1928 USA ko. Ani hamro Nepal section say one of the part section Nepal bhanchu. And this means I'm a vice governor. So my member bhako it's been more than 1.5 years. But position like July the year.
Yeah. अनि has त्यो चाहिँ खासमा अलिकति if you want to explain त्यसले चाहिँ कसरी help गर्छ
Okay, so 99s, we are basically focusing on women aviators, I know, all around the world. Main the networking connection ne ho, I know. And other than that, most attractive point which might be for the future upcoming say scholarships or provide course. So you have to be involved, you have to be there, and definitely social service to the pain also. But main goal चाहिँ त्यही नै हो empowerment कसरी दिने as a women aviators like कसरी गर्ने भन्नेमा त्यसमै work गर्छ.
So people who want to be कि जुन चाहिँ फिल्डमै लागिसकेको मान्छेहरू more
Mostly fieldsमा भइसकेका मान्छे हुनुपर्छ हैन त्यसमा अनि अब हामी in the December we're doing a small meetup type को गर्न लाग्छौँ हैन.
We can continue.
Okay. So in December, we are planning to do a small event, like sort of gathering, collecting all the 99s all around the world. And sort of a networking type Leo, I realize, socializing, meeting up, socializing. And त्यसले गरेर फ्युचरमा अब मैले नपाएको mentorship, मैले नपाएको financial help, and maybe in the future, our women, young ones le paula ki भन्ने हो. So.
Lastly, like a hobby question, hobby भन्दा नि तपाईँको favorite movie in terms of being a pilot.
Yeah, okay. Recently, there are two actually. Are like hands down Top Gun. I don't think anyone threw the bayalio. That's because of the fighter jet and the thrill that you feel when you're watching it. But emotionally, एकदम personally छोको चाहिँ त्यो गुन्जन सक्सेना हो कि something. It is very personal to me because the first half, the struggle part, like my dad and I had to go through some parts चाहिँ एकदम relatable छ क्या. अनि त्यो हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ I felt like, whoa, like is the story written about me or something? And I actually watched it and I made my dad watch it with me. And we watched it together, and the funny part is he started laughing first, and he started crying after that. So it's kind of personal to struggle after face gareko part bhayo. So those two movies, I think, something good.
Do you think movies related to aviation are somewhat accurate or अहिलेको हिसाबमा कस्तो छ?
सबैसँग accurate नहोला because त्यो त certain मान्छे एकजनाकोमा गरेको हो नि त. त्यसमा पनि relatable 100% त म छैन नि. And somewhat सबैलाई अलिअलि त हुन्छ होला. Yeah.
Because मैले चाहिँ Top Gun, what I thought was they were actually not flying the plane. जस्तो लाग्यो.
In the movie?
मैले चाहिँ that's what I thought. But I think they were flying रहेछ. Yeah, I guess. I think so.
Okay.
Somewhat. I think
I think Tom Cruise has a license. Just like, yeah.
There's a license यतिकै लिन पाउँछ to fly those things?
Yeah, you can.
Oh.
Okay, so let me tell you this. Commercially not paula. Commercially because you have the responsibility of your breath ni. मान्छेको सासको हाम्रो उछन् the responsibilities हन् त. Commercially no होला तर private PPL हाम्रो कस्तो हुन्छ नि to become a commercial pilot license, first you need to have a PPL, private pilot license, and then you get a instrument rating, and then finally commercial license okay? So PPL say basic wala ho jun चाहिँ के certify गर्छ भने you can carry passengers with your family or त्यो fun को लागि चाहिँ गर्नु मिल्छ के. And त्यसको certain criteria चाहिँ त्यति high छैन. And I have a friend who's in France अहिले. अनि हामी कस्तो थियो भने हाई स्कुलमा there were 3 friends. Me, Sham र महेश भन्ने छ हैन. अनि we all wanted to be a pilot त्यही बेलामा हाई स्कुलमा. अनि महेशको चाहिँ सबसे enthusiastic चाहिँ उनी थियो. But unfortunately उसको चाहिँ color blindness हो के हैन. So he actually is a glider pilot in France. And he's actually engineer, but then त्यो उसले चाहिँ like for fun, आफ्नो personal hobby type ले चाहिँ गर्छ कि.
ए
So anybody can do it.
ए अनि यो नेपालमा लिन मिल्छ कि बाहिर गएर लिन जानुपर्छ? You want?
The PPL thing? Yeah, किनभने त्यो पढ्ने त बाहिरै हो नि त. You can't. And I do have a friend who's visiting अहिले. त्यो पनि स्कुलको साथी हो. He also has PPL, but he did not continue. So he can actually school license उसले renew गरेर राख्यो भने he can take you, take anybody.
That's interesting.
But not commercially.
त्यसको लागि चाहिँ because you have lives.
Commercial र PPL मा के फरक हुन्छ भने you get paid के. Commercial pilots get paid to take the passengers, private pilots don't.
So they have to spend money to.
I mean like interest के अब if I'm going, I'm a PPL, म पढिरहेको छु उता हैन. You come to visit me. If I want to take you, I can. I mean, you don't pay anything. We're just for fun. Just लान चाहिँ मिल्छ. But commercially हुन्छ नि, professionally, I can't get the payment.
तर त्यो के भन्छ एयरक्राफ्ट लग्नलाई पनि त you have to pay होला नि त.
त्यस्तो passenger त्यस्तो त पर्दैन.
होइन as in like flying you don't own the plane so
अब hire rent त्यस्तो त भइहाल्छ नि. He does the same. He's flying his dream अब.
True.
So.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So thank you so much for being here. And it was a really good experience with like listening to all your knowledge and रमाइलो लाग्यो मलाई चाहिँ personally.
Thank you.
And we have a small PR package. So we have a small PR package from Swirls and
well, thank you. What is this actually?
So
can I? With you?
Yeah, if you want to open it and show it to the camera.
Oh, I see my name on it.
Swirls are giving away their beautiful nails. To enter this giveaway, first follow Sahat, Kasa and Swirls on Instagram. Mention 3 people on the latest pin post and share this link of the episode on your Instagram stories and make sure you screenshot it and send it to our page. Follow these steps and you'll be eligible for the giveaway.
Nails. All right.
Nails, yeah.
I do have big nail beds though. All right, I'm going to try it on. Cute ones. Thank you. Swirl, right? Thank you.
Thank you so much for giving us the
Thank
PR.
you, Alicia, right? Thank you.